Bullocks. Bullocks. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Move you over here. Move this over here. I was going to try to do this on my computer, but no. Seems to be a little bit complicated so far. By a little complicated, I'm over exaggerating it because I'm weird that way. So this week's episode was 10 times better than last. I give last week's episode a little bit of leeway because it was just a setup for this week's episode. So sometimes when there's a setup, it could be meh, and then when you get the result of the said setup, then you're okay with like the setup. The setup was fine. I mean the setup, not the setup. The payoff was fine. I have several issues. I will say them now. Well, not now, but let's go like there has a lot of big like reveals. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. Jeremiah, if you remember last week, Jeremiah was Joker's twin brother. I mean Jerome's twin brother, and Jeremiah is her, I guess, in the sense of taking over the creepy, crazy guy. How do I explain Jeremiah? Let's go, before we go into the plot, let's go away, Cameron, I think the name of the actor is, Cameron's, portrayal of this character, Jeremiah. He's trying to be less, psychotic than Jerome. He's trying to be less wild and hammy. Though it feels like he's sedated a little bit when he's talking. It's not like a slight against him. I think it's on purpose. I think I could be wrong, but what is this? Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter kind of thing? I'm not sure. It can't be that he's trying to do a Jack Nicholson thing, because Jack Nicholson was over the top and got Batman '89, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling it, at least in the beginning. His plan was, well, like we discussed last week, his plan was to blow up Gotham and rebuild it in his image, outdoing his brother in the process of the thing, outdoing his brother's plan. Which I don't know what his plan was. We never got to the meat of Jerome's plan at all. I mean, did he plan for Jeremiah to just do this? This could be like a little nitpick, but he wanted Jeremiah to take over and do. He wanted Jeremiah to lose his mind, take over, and finish his plan? What if the serum did nothing to him? What if he just... So his plan would have been left like that? What about the other villains? There was Victor Freeze, Firefly, Scarecrow, which we see in this episode. Who was the other guy? There's another guy that works for him, but I can't... Did he get caught? Did he die? So many loose threads with Jerome's plan, in my opinion. What happened? Where did it go? How can that be his plan? Like, I know he's supposed to be like psychotic and stupid, but he wasn't stupid. He outdid a lot of people. He was touting a huge plan in Arkham to Penguin. This couldn't have been it. like dying and letting his brother, if his brother takes over, his brother hates him. Like again, like last week I said that he basically did a Talia in Dark Knight Rises, which was spoilers if you haven't seen that movie. Like she took over Ra's al Ghul's plan from Begins, even though she hates him. I didn't ever understand that motivation. So did why would Jeremiah take over? It doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. Let's play along. The plan makes no sense. Maybe the finale will make it make sense. Maybe there's like a aha moment. Maybe. Probably not. Don't You probably shouldn't expect much from Gotham. I love the show, but it's not it's not the most brilliant thing. Though I still think that there are points in Gotham that has a brilliant writing. Um so the plan. We last left off, Jim is dead, or so we think. I never thought he was dead. How shall we say, plot thread? So, Harvey! Yay, Harvey! He's one of my favorite characters in the show. Harvey Bullock takes over the GCPD. They're reluctant at first, because if you don't remember, in the last season, he kind of got, like... Actually, in the beginning of the season, he kind of got some cop shot, and pig that was brought by Sophia. Sophia... I want to say Coppola, but it's not Coppola, it's Falcone. She killed like a whole bunch of people to gain access to Gotham. She's right now in a coma. I don't know like what will happen to her. I don't really care. Her character was very insufferable and unlikable. But that's just me. Like, this show has a knack of keeping the people you hate on just to fuck with you. Like, with Barbara Keene. Couldn't stand her. She's still there. Couldn't stand Penguin, and he won me over eventually, because the actor's very charismatic, and they did write a very good arc in the last few seasons with him. I don't like Barbara Keene that much, but she doesn't... Tabitha I didn't like her either. They kept her on. Lord knows why. Other than she is Selena's like not protege. Selena is her protege, but Selena's master, teaching her the way of Catwoman, I suppose. She's still there. Remember, so Penguin. Remember in the last episode, Penguin tortured a guy. The guy told him probably everything that they needed to know. So apparently Jeremiah, who has a very brilliant plan, let people know where a transmitter or transmorph, whatever the fuck it was called, transistor, I think it was called, know where that is. If you get rid of it, you can't, do much. Or so he says. Why would he tell that to that guy? I mean, more on that. I forgot to tell you that, he gave basically like the Heath Ledger gave people a way out of Gotham in Dark Knight. Kinda, sorta. It was, a plan to trap them in the place where they had the bombs. 6 hours to the people to leave. Then he changed his mind when Penguin kind of screwed the whole thing over by trying to extort money from him, thus simultaneously looking like heroes. But Jeremiah's like, fuck you, I have a grenade launcher, and he kills the dude who has the transmitter, Fuck, I forgot the name. Transistor? Again? I don't remember the name of the thing. he blew him up, and he shortened his deadline. He was working with Barbara Keene, Tabitha, and Solomon Grundy, which I forget his real name. I forgot his real name. Butch. So, so in this season, I would like to pick up the Penguin is kind of lost his mojo. He always was the guy on top. He always had the plan. He always had the plan to get over something and win. This season so far, he's on the bottom. Riddler is doing somewhat okay. Not quite okay, but somewhat okay. He's going in his weird love affair with Lee. More on that later, but Penguin seems to, Riddler seems to be fine, but Penguin seems to have lost his mojos temporarily. He doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the power, he doesn't have anybody to help him. He has a begrudgingly Butch helping him, because Butch wants to be cured of this swamp ailment that he has that makes him very strong and kind of immortal. And he's only doing that because Penguin agreed to take him to Doctor Strange with money to help him, which is just a manipulation on his part, which I don't know why the hell Butch and Tabitha don't see that. They're villains. They know how villains work, especially Penguin. After, like, I'm looking at my notes, like, what does she keep looking at my notes? Lee. Let's go with Lee, because now we're gonna go with the big reveal, or not reveal, if you know stories, if you know who Jim Gordon is. He took over the GCPD, pretends that he's not dead, saying he's not dead, he's gonna come back. Bruce comes in after he dug himself out of the grave and asks for his, how is he? How is Jim, by the way? And, like, for some reason, Jeremiah calls him from there. And Bruce does the thing. I don't know. He walks into a very obvious trap because they have Alfred. Which is sad, because, like, that kind of annoys me, because they take, like, Bruce 2 steps back after he learns something. I don't understand why, like, he hasn't learned that those are traps. Get away from the traps. Don't go to the traps. But Selena goes with him, because he asks her to. And then we go back to Lee. Guess who is awake? Jim. He's in, the Hollows. She saved him because they added in the end that Riddler had somebody tailing him. I don't think I saw somebody tailing him, and how the fuck does that help him not blow up? Like, I know I saw him take, the blueprints and something to probably shield himself from the explosion. Yes. They never showed you how they got him out. I think that was they wrote themselves in a corner, and they just whoop, pay no attention to that. Bye. And I find that hilarious. Like, he's not dead because he's Jim. He's the main character. How can we kill him? Because technically, Jim is the real main character, along with the city. We follow Bruce, like, on the side, and then he's becoming more and more the main focus, because they want him to, like, I think I don't know if the show's going to end, but he's becoming more and more Batman. He's realizing that he has no way out, because he had a vision of becoming Batman eventually. And by vision, I mean that he got sprayed by Crane's shit. Yeah, Jim's alive. He's in the Hollows. Lee saved him, or Riddler saved him, and he tries to plead with her. He gives her the blueprints. She takes them, he drugs him, sleep. She then disappears after that. She says, "Oh, Jim, you think you're the only one who could save the city." And she disappears with the blueprints, gives them to the Riddler, and I don't see her again for a while. The rest of I don't know where she went. I don't know what she did. Lee is a very interesting and battled character. She's one of my favorite characters that they slightly ruined and are slowly trying to fix her. I'm not sure what they're gonna go with her, though. They're foreshadowing nothing good. Nothing good's gonna happen to her. Like the women the women in this show don't get treated very well. Like the good ones, they get just fucking murdered to hell, and the bad ones get kept on. Could be that the actress wants to leave too because her character isn't going anywhere. In my opinion, she just keeps. But yeah, so time passes. I forgot to say that Jeremiah did like a big flashy entrance, and blew up the clock tower, and that's how everybody figured out what he was doing. What I want to say is he has Jerome's former acolytes or followers, and they have this weird, like, this show has, for like, after the second season, has had an interesting hairdresser, an interesting makeup person, an interesting, like, costume design person, because all they've been having are these weird hairdos. Uh, also, they're dressed like the Ghostbusters 2016? Is it 2016 that the reboot Ghostbusters came out? They're dressed like those. Why? I don't know. Jeremiah says that they're in his image. I have no idea. So Bruce goes to the trap with Selina. She waits outside for some reason. He goes inside, and he hears, like, there's a videotape of Alfred screaming, which is kind of in the style of the Arkham games. He watches him get tortured or something like that, and he falls for it. Again, that's, like, amateur hour. Like, he goes and looks for him. He finds someone that could be him, possibly. But by the time he gets there, he was already gassed. So you already know that whatever he's seeing can't be reliable. He's not a reliable narrator, as you will. It's just the man's, Alfred laughing and then cutting the Heath Ledger, like, Joker, scars into himself. I know that that's not necessarily just Heath Ledger, but that's, like, what I know. And also it's shorthand, because everybody knows the iconic Heath Ledger Joker, and not everybody knows the comic books. That's not necessarily true, but, you know, it's my preferred shorthand. So yeah, and he tries to kill Bruce. And I don't exactly know how these gases work. A Crane did a gas mixed with Jerome's gas. But they work differently in different times. It stops working whenever they feel like making it stop work. It's weird. Again, it's just probably like a plot device. Not a very well used one. So basically, he gets into a fight with him. He is pleading because he doesn't want Alfred to get hurt or die, but he's not focusing because, again, he's been gassed. Cut to Selina fighting the bad guys who's watching him get hurt, and beating the crap out of them. She beat the crap out of Crane, too. Very easily. Crane is just a little snobby, not snobby, like a little teenage boy. He's not an adult. Of course, she's like street savvy and beat the crap out of him. And he was like an abused boy that his father abused him and gassed him every 5 minutes. It's... yeah. She beat the crap out of him. She found the real Alfred because the guy who's beating up Bruce isn't really Alfred, and he gets shot in the head. The guy who's trying to kill Bruce. Bruce loses his shit thinking that that's Alfred, but then Selena snaps him out of it somehow, and Alfred snaps him out of it, and we cut back to Bullock because Bullock is with Lucius with the blueprints because Jim delivered the blueprints after he knocked out Riddler because Riddler is not focused on the main task. He keeps trying to, cockfight with Jim. Jim knows that he has, I don't care about the fucking city about to blow up. Can you cut it out? So, yeah, he beat the crap out of Riddler, took the blueprints, took the information the Riddler gave him, went to Harvey. Harvey is going to, help with that. Jim stays there. Harvey and Lucius are on the phone, and they find one of the places because what the Riddler found out is the for some reason Jeremiah in his blueprints of his labyrinth had the blueprints of where he was going to put the bombs. Why? Why? None of this makes sense in my I don't know, maybe I'm not evil genius level of smart. Maybe that's why I'm not getting it. So he takes that, they figure out where to go. They take Bullock goes to one of those places where it has the thing. He has to do a Lethal Weapon 3 thing, cut the blue wire or cut the red wire. And then Lucius says, if you cut the wrong one, you'll blow up all the bombs at once. Meanwhile, Jeremiah is with the followers of Jerome in his bunker, going to blow up the place. But Jim does a broadcast that says, I ain't dead, motherfucker. You didn't kill me. You didn't do shit. You're a loser. Your brother was better. He's trying to disconcentrate him and piss him off so he doesn't do what he has to do, and try to turn his followers against him, which kind of worked. Which distracted him long enough for Harvey to have any meeny miny mo the cut the right wire shit. I would have crapped my pants. He cut the right wire and thus saving the whole city. By the end, he gets a hero's welcome into GPCD. Jim goes to visit Lee, which again, we're gonna Lee. We see her again after she disappeared. She asked him if he's going to arrest her, and he's like, I'm giving you an option to leave. Just leave alone, start a new life somewhere else. This is the same thing he told her when they were both infected by that virus that Tesh half of the city with, most of the city. And she came back. I don't know why she came back. She came back to fix what she did when she was under the influence of the virus. She came back after that, and she's not going to leave because she's a stubborn person. But he told her he still likes her. He cares about her, and he doesn't recognize her. And, it's like a nice little sweet thing between a couple. Meanwhile, Riddler was watching the whole time, so you don't know, what is he gonna do? We know what the Riddler will do when he's jilted by, not even jilted, threatened by a love situation. You know what he's gonna do. He did it last time. His other personality hasn't come out yet, so... Which, now they changed the rhetoric. Now, his evil personality was the Riddler, and he's the Riddler, so... His good personality was Edward. I don't know. We'll see. I can't yell at them too much. They're trying something new. So yeah, that happens. Then we go to a very difficult part for me, because Selena Kyle is my favorite character of all. Like, also there's like a huge lightning storm happening behind me. Like, Selena Kyle is my favorite character of like the comics, the movies, which I don't think she was in any of the movies. Oh yeah, no, Returns. Yes, Returns is my favorite Batman movie. Um, of the TV show, everything, the game. She was awesome in the game too. Um, so yeah, they whoever the girl that they picked, which I forgot her name. I'm sorry. It's she looks like Michelle Pfeiffer. They're making her act like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. She not nuts, but not yet anyway. But yeah, she's an interesting like survivor, a kid from the streets surviving, and I love it. And I also love the cute little romance that she has with Bruce. Um, and she actually stayed with him at the end of there because each season they have like this adventure together, they fight together, and in the end she leaves. Like they play, like she plays this little toy game, and then she leaves, but she stayed with him this time. Cut to again Jeremiah trying to figure out why they defeated his plan, and he figured it out. And then, with bane of my existence, Ra's al Ghul shows up. He wants something to happen. He wants whatever he saw in his vision to happen. So he's going to help Jeremiah. And then we cut back to Bruce talking to her, Selena, and they're kissing. They kissed for the first time. Because there's this running joke that they could never kiss. Something always interrupted them. Either they stopped each other. There was like a funny one where she thought he was going to kiss her. But he did the Iron Man thing in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's just like, nah, I'm just going to open the door. Get out. But, they kiss. Jeremiah shows up, shoots her in the stomach, and that's when the episode ends. That's devastating because I felt like that was gonna happen to her like sooner or later. She was up for a big because every character has had a big fall. She didn't have quite as a big fall. She did have that scene from Batman Returns where she gets pushed out of a window and comes back, as you will, from that. Slightly different. But she didn't have like a fall, like a semi-death scene. No, there you go. Hopefully they don't kill her off. Because in the next episode, because they're giving next week is the season finale, so huzzah. She's alive in the hospital, but it feels like this is the encrucijada, as they would say in Spanish, the crossroads of when Bruce becomes Batman. Maybe because each season finale they do that, but I guess each season finale gets closer and closer to the actual thing. So yeah. I'm a little flustered because Selena's one of my favorite characters. But yeah, Jeremiah is going to again try to blow up the city. Rage has something to do with this. It has something to do to push Bruce to become Batman or something. There was a poignant scene that he had where he was talking to Selena and he said, Jerome or Jeremiah, all it just takes is to have one bad day, which is what the Joker said as he became the Joker, and he was, I don't know if it's I think it's the Killing Joke. Yeah. The Killing Joke, he says that, trying to fuck with Batman to the point that, he loses it. I haven't seen the animated movie. I don't hear good things. I haven't read the comic because I don't hear good things. I don't know why it's so beloved at the same time that it's reviled. But yeah, I don't want to see I don't want to see Barbara Gordon get violated. So, yeah. So yeah, it's he said a very poignant thing. Is he crazy after his parents died? Like, all of us are a little crazy when something traumatic, and like crazy, like, I'm not trying to devaluate um, mental illness, but all of us have a degree of something. Something eats that way at us, and he's right about that, and I like that. The kid has grown up himself, like, as an actor. It's pretty sweet. I like that. Let's see what let's see what next week has to say. Like, several things that had problems with this arc. This started out very different, and I don't know if it's because something happened story, like, writer wise or character wise, like, budget wise or something wise. Something happened that they changed the plot thread, because it started out with Jerome and the other villains that were under Penguin, and then we just slipped into full on Joker out of Left Wing, like, full on Joker, nothing else. Don't know why. They're doing the whole he's obsessed with Bruce thing, so I guess 100% he's Joker, unless they prove me wrong next week. But yeah, I don't understand. Like, they were doing so fine without the Joker. I like that they were playing around with people like, is he the Joker? Isn't he a Joker? Who fucking gives a shit? You have like a million other villains. But, I don't know. Again, I have a problem with that. I don't know. They have the Riddler. They haven't given the Riddler much of... They nerf him a lot. They haven't given him much of like, a way to expand himself or something. They nerfed Barbara because she had the dragon head or claw or something. She had the ability to use it. They nerfed her, and there was going to be this whole women assassin versus the men assassin, the sirens thing, and that went kafloof. They added so much shit in this season, like more than usual. And they just dropped the threads. Because next week is the season finale, so all those stories are going to be just shelved to next year? Beginning of this year, because the end of this year is the new season. Hopefully it gets picked up again, because, again, I like the show. Yeah, I'm beginning to see some cracks in the armor, but I'm still interested. It's not like I hate the Joker, by the way. I don't hate is what I'm saying. He's overused, and the Killing Joke especially has been overused in the last 2 years. Like, okay, we get it. You did it. You did the Killing Joke like several times. You even did it in the Arkham games. Let it go. We got it. Stop. You have other stories. I mean, stop. I don't even know if they have, like, stories about pre-Batman, pre-evil Gotham. That's why I found this interesting, because it's different, and it is different. I don't hate it. I really don't. I get, like, the kid who plays Jeremiah and Jerome. Again, he's trying to, like, separate the two characters. He doesn't want to play the same, like, wacky character. And again, this Jeremiah character thinks he's not insane. He is insane, just in a functioning way. So he's trying to... And also, I feel like he's having issues with the context to make him look like the Joker with the, like, bleached out eyes. He looks... he looks like... I am smart and talking to you like his eyes are bugged out and shit. He's wearing the typical Jack Nicholson like mobster suit that he wore in '89 Batman. So he's not a bad actor. That kid is a good actor. I said kid. He's probably over 20, but to me he's a kid because I remember him from Criminal Minds when he played a psychopath that killed children, and he was also a child. He was trying to kill Elle Fanning in Criminal Minds, which is hilarious to me. Um, I can't wait for next. We'll definitely do a next week live stream on the finale. I'm not sure if it'll be on my computer or the other computer. I think I'll just do the other computer. I don't know why I just didn't feel like it like today, and the phone is so much easier. But yeah, I'm figuring out how to live stream. So, pop. Um, so next week, this weekend, I'm gonna do Lise Miguel again. I would do it every week. And I don't think there's going to be anything else in between and reviewing wise. So this was an interesting episode, like I said. Don't like that they hurt my Selena. Like, could you kill off Barbara again? That was satisfying for me when Tabitha just electrocuted her fucking ass after she shot her. I think she shot her in the head. I don't know. She stabbed her and then electrocuted her ass. That was gratifying. See you guys later. Thank you for watching. And thank you for all the, liking, commenting, all that stuff. Tell me what you thought about this season in general. And next week, let's talk about season finale. Let's see if I can turn this off. I don't think so. Oh no. Come on. Woo! Almost got it. There you go.